we've never been super direct about social issues. I think maybe just because it's scary to branch into that territory of being more specific. But at the same time, I find myself like writing more and more about what's going on in the world and the country and my own internal journey. And I've been through, relationships and things that were not the greatest. And I was reading about Rosehaven, and it made me feel like very compelled to keep up with them, because I think it's just so important for people to have help, and I'm actually really excited that we're doing this.
Fern from Paradigm Shyft, how are you doing? It looks like you're chilling on a beautiful afternoon. How's life?
Yeah, it's really pretty out today. I was camping this weekend, so so it's been a really nice, sunny, hot weekend. A little bit maybe on the too hot side, but that's okay. We welcome it in Portland.
All right,
We only get it for a little bit of the year.
For sure, sure. I mean, I obviously can't help but notice some leaves or nature in your tattoo as well. So does that mean that you are a very in tuned with nature person, camping all the time, or?
Am I in tune with nature? I would say so. I grew up in Hawaii and I came to Oregon, and they're both just like very outdoorsy places. And yeah, so I've embraced it all this time. Maybe not so much as a kid, but now that I'm older, I try to be outside as much as possible. So yeah.
All right.
Nature and cute animals. This is it's a bird. We put a bird on it for Portland.
So, all right, we're not here to talk about your camping habits, obviously. We're here to talk about the band, and particularly we're here also to talk about the Femme Fatale festival that's coming up that you guys will be playing at, which is really cool. Before we go into that, let's unpack Paradigm Shyft a little bit for people watching this interview that are newer to the band. You guys bring an eclectic rock sound, but there's a lot of 90s alternative vibes in there. I think if I remember correctly, that on your Spotify bio or something like that, it says that we have an eclectic sound because everybody brings in a different influence. So if that's true, if Paradigm Shyft is a collection of very different people, when you're writing songs, and not too long ago we saw a new single out, how does the band decide where you're going to go for each song?
Wow. Yeah, I guess I've never been asked that necessarily, that specifically. But I mean, I think it just started at the beginning when we were newer. We sort of had to choose kind of a lane. We sort of just meshed ourselves all together. Our guitarist is very thrashy. He has a lot of inspiration from Slayer and Lamb of God and even Gojira and stuff like that. The very riffy guitar type music. And our bassist, I think originally he kind of brought in almost like a Tool sort of vibe to the music. But as we've all gotten to know each other more, that progressive element extends a lot deeper. And I actually, before being in metal at all, I always liked emo music when I was a teenager. That was kind of the era that I grew up in. But I was mostly a pop singer and writer. I was kind of like a singer-songwriter girl. But I think, and then our drummer is actually not our original drummer, but he also brings in a lot of, more technicality and stuff like that to the mix. So I think it was just sort of like meshing everything together. And as we've grown, we've sort of changed that lane a little bit. I think we're we're leaning a little bit more progressive these days, like with the stuff
Mhm.
that we're writing now. And yeah, it's been really fun. I mean, it's fun to, kind of find a familiar sound or parts that are familiar, but then think outside the box too.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Somehow I was fooled by illusion.
When a band has an eclectic sound, you like, there's usually two explanations for that. Either one is a band is still looking for its own identity in a way, or it's a very conscious decision to be, unlabelable, if that's a word. So what's that with you guys?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think, it's kind of like you like take the good with the bad. Like there have been a lot of really great ways that we have decided that we wanted to be
Hmm.
less definable, but there have also been a lot of times we've argued about the way a certain song should go and things like that. So
Yeah,
there's kind of, I mean, it's always going to be a little bit of both. But I think back in the day, we really didn't fully have a grip on it. And it's funny that you say that the songs are seem a little bit of everything, because to me it feels like so clearly like this is our thrashy song and this is our song in a weird time progression or whatever. So it's funny that it sounds a lot more cohesive, because I mean being the person who was there from the beginning up until now, it feels like we are slowly bringing it all together more. Yeah.
right. Now, and it's not necessarily an element that comes out in the music a ton, but you have played with Greyhawk, with Splintered Throne. I know that you've been on Wacken battles that usually draw a more traditional or classic metal genres, given that the Wacken Festival itself is also still a little bit more traditional. They're opening up to more modern stuff, but still. Um, are there, is that just necessity of like, hey, these are the bands that that are in the local area and we play all together, or are there members in the band that do have a soft spot for that, classic fist pumping metal to wield an axe and a sword?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's, there is kind of a small scene in Portland, that's for
Hmm.
sure. At least for as far as metal and heavy rock and stuff like that. So in some ways, yeah, we've made some connections over the years that were kind of unexpected and played a lot of sort of like
Hmm.
mixed subgenre shows. But at the same time, I mean, yeah, I think we all just really enjoy it. And I think as long as, the promoters think that it's a good fit and everything, we're kind of down for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're definitely, of course, we all have like heard the classics. I mean, we all kind of, I think, have some soft spots for that. But yeah, I don't know. It has surprised us sometimes when we've been brought
Yeah.
on to certain. But like Lisa from Splintered Throne, she when the first time I played with her, she told me I feel like we're very similar in our writing styles and that we do a lot of storytelling. And I never really put it together, but I'm like, yeah, I guess that is kind of a similarity. So these little things we find a way.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
use this feeling of community and people supporting each other as a bit of a forced segue to talk about
Yeah.
Rosehaven and
Oh, okay.
really
Yeah.
focusing on community and giving back. Like, so you're part of the Femme Fatale Festival, which is a really cool 2-day event. You're going to be raising awareness, but also funds for the Rosehaven shelter. There are very different bands on this bill, and there are some flat out punk bands that all they do is talk about social issues and are focused more on that side. There's other bands that are completely new to that. How important is it for you personally and for a band like Paradigm Shift to support events like this that are a little different than your normal show?
Yeah, I mean, being female, being a woman. I think that maybe when I was newer as a performing artist, I probably didn't think about it as much. But as I've gotten older and lived in Portland longer and just gotten more life experience, I have realized that I care a lot about these issues. I think the whole band does too. I think that, being the one girl in the
Right.
band, it might hit a little closer to home than me, but at the same time, it's like everybody, has very, strong, powerful, independent spouses. And, I think it's important to have a message, even if it's, we've never been super direct about social issues. I think maybe just because it's scary to branch into that territory of being more specific. But at the same time, I find myself like writing more and more about what's going on in the world and the country and my own internal journey. And I've been through, relationships and things that were not the greatest. And I was reading about Rosehaven, and it made me feel like very compelled to keep up with them, because I think it's just so important for people to have help. And I'm actually really excited that we're doing this. I don't think I knew much about the fundraiser until, we were going to do this. And so it has kind of opened me up to a whole nother sphere of just what's possible and the kindness shown. I mean, it's just so cool that people who are passionate about music can also put on an event that is solely about, raising awareness and money for this organization. So yeah, I mean, I was just telling my bandmates that I really think that for this set in particular, we should tailor it more towards storytelling, and we should, do the songs that are the most near and dear to like my heart. I mean, I'm the main lyric writer, so I guess it's kind of my heart, but the things that are the most important, the things that do highlight those issues and talk about it more. Normally we kind of just power through a set, or maybe we're trying to do the most headbanging thing that we can do, or the most energetic thing. And I think that this could be a really good time to showcase that we care and that there's more depth and more thought about all of these social issues, within what we do musically.
You want to write more, or you find that you want to talk more about these things, but it's scary. And is there a voice in the back of your mind that goes, so maybe a double question. Is there a voice in the back of your mind that goes like, well, if I start writing more about this, people are going to roll their eyes and go like, there's another girl talking about girl issues. But on the flip side, do you think that this festival and this experience and being part of this like community and other bands in a similar position might give you more of that confidence to do that, to write more about that?
Yeah, I think so. And just, be able to talk about the reality of some of these issues to an actual audience, an audience that's like right there. I mean, my hope and my assumption is that this event in particular is going to have a lot of female attendees, or people in, other genders, people who don't subscribe to gender. And so I think, I think it would be really nice to, I guess, have that audience understand that, I want to be a safe space. We're a safe space. because it is kind of mixed for some reason in the metal crowd, it feels like. It feels like you don't know what you're going to get sometimes.
Right. It
As
could be
far
the
as,
most, could be
yeah.
the middle crowd could be the most open, progressive, and inclusive crowd, but it could also be the most conservative, exclusive crowd at the same time, unfortunately.
Right.
For
Yeah.
many things, yeah.
Yeah. So, I just hope to kind of
Open it up a bit.
keep pushing a little bit by little and just sharing that, this is a safe space. Yeah, I care about all of the stuff that's going on. I care about
Yeah.
everybody too. Yeah. Yeah, we need that. We need
Yeah.
inclusivity.
You're not a legacy band that has like 40 years, back catalog and 20 albums and whatnot. You're in some ways only still getting started, but in depending on how we count, in like a year and a half from now, you're at your 10-year anniversary. Um, what would make you look back at that point when the band turns 10? What would make you look back and go like, okay, this has been a success? Like what's between now and then? Like, what do you want to do still?
Oh man, I know. I mean, yeah, we we have been, pretty slow about just, I don't know, getting anything done. And so I think it would be really nice I mean, we've been working on an album. It's just been like everybody has other things going on in life. And so
For sure.
haven't fully made it yet. Yeah, I would love for us to have put an album out by then. It's feels like it's like 3/4 of the way done. Just needs like a few more things. But we're all like self-produced, and we decided that was kind of the route we wanted to go. And I think it would be really nice to just. I mean, I'm always thinking about some of the stuff that you said earlier about like finding your lane and finding your sound. And I think it would just be nice to look back and think like, wow, we've really figured something out. We've really like made it cohesive. I mean, as we write more, and I hope we do for the next couple years, I think that it's getting there. And even now I look back and I think, wow, like I am not a natural born performer. I didn't know how to do anything when we first started. And, having to do things like the Vakken battle and all that, it's taught us a lot about just how to be more professional and how
Right.
to really give it more of our all when we're on stage and things like that. So in a lot of ways, I already look back and I think, yeah, wow, like we've grown a lot. So I just hope it even feels more like that, like just hitting our stride. Yeah.
Awesome. So we know you will be giving it your all on the
Yes,
show at the festival.
absolutely.
Everybody can look forward to that. Fern, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you
And
for yours as
we'll
well.
keep our eyes open, or ears open, maybe I should say, for more announcements around the album when it's not 75 but 100% done. Thank you so
Yes.
much for your time, and I look forward to learning more.
Thank you too.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.